All right, time to get some gas on this thing. Oh, must be the other side. Gosh, dude, you should have known. It's a freaking German car. There we go. That's more like it. Nice car, right? What are you doing? Dude, I'm trying to put gas in this thing.
It's a Porsche, stupid. It's in the front. Amateur hour. Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm also Matt.
And we're Shift Society. We're here to bring you car reviews, but mainly focusing on modded cars and car comparisons for like the everyday person that wants to know what it's really like to buy these cars, own these cars, and mod these cars. Episode 3.
Episode 3, baby. Big steps.
We are here with this beautiful lapis blue Carrera S 997.
997.1.
The pre-LCI
of Porsches.
So on the front end of this car, this thing is super sick. I mean, it's seldom that you see a modded 997 to this caliber. I mean, like, you know, you go to car shows all the time, a lot of people like to keep them stock. This is not the case with this one.
Not at all. From what the owner, Greg, has told us, so this is a factory aero kit bumper with a GT3 smile on it. So I guess this section of the bumper is an add-on that kind of gives it more of that GT3 look without being a full GT3 bumper.
From what he told me, he actually cut into this bumper, which is pretty scary.
Yeah. A lot of the BMW guys eventually graduate into a Porsche. I attempted to take that step, so I've done a good amount of research on these. And if you do any research on these, you'll find that the aero kit is actually super, super rare.
Really?
So cutting into an aero kit as well, that's super ballsy.
Front lip added to that aero kit bumper, sits super low to the ground.
Super low.
Matte dark bronze BC Forge wheels, custom wheels. Big brakes from the Porsche Turbo. Like I said, this is an S model, so it has a couple extra add-ons. I think it has a 3.8 liter instead of 3.6. Has about 25 more horsepower.
It is a pretty sweet OEM Plus build.
Yeah. And I think it comes with like an MDM.
MDM?
Yeah, right?
I think that's what the Porsche guys call pass 'em.
Pass 'em?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to pass them on the track.
Oh, is that why? You're so funny. All right, here at the back of the car.
Here at the back of the car. So Greg's done some pretty tasteful mods to this Carrera S, I would say. It's a GT3 rear spoiler.
Style rear spoiler.
GT3 style rear spoiler.
Let's not get the purist all upset, okay?
Yep. Yeah. He did the 997.2 style taillights. So the .1 didn't come with the LEDs, the .2 did, and it's a little bit of a different shape, so this gives it that similar look. He also did the Fister
exhaust mod.
Fister exhaust mod.
He fisted her exhaust mod? Start over. And the Fab Speed intakes.
And the Fab Speed intakes. Let's take a look at those.
Let's take a look at them. And speaking to some Porsche guys, I guess this is like a controversial intake because I guess it doesn't make power on a dyno.
Right, so from what the owner told us, it's considered a cold air intake.
Yeah, or a hot air intake.
A hot air intake.
Depending on how you look at it.
Really, a lot of people just do these Fab Speed intakes for the sound, which genuinely, in my opinion, a 3 or 4 horsepower difference or a better sound. Yeah, I don't think it makes a difference.
I'm taking sound all day.
I'm taking sound over 3 horsepower.
Even the looks of these dudes, it's just quality.
Yeah, especially on a street car too. Like, I mean, I get if you track it and this, that, whatever, but on a street car, I think it's all about the driving experience rather than making the extra 6 horsepower.
And aesthetics, man. You know, I really give the owner a lot of credit for this car because he wasn't scared to mod it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I, like, honestly, if I had a 997 Carrera S, this is exactly how I'd want it.
I agree, yeah. I would do it exactly the same way with BBS E88s because I'm a BMW guy.
997, dude!
997. Y'all ready for this?
First impressions. There's a lot of noise coming from back there.
There's a lot of noise in general that I'm not used to. I don't know any of it.
Yeah. Second impression is there's a lot more room in here than I thought.
Genuinely, yeah, I agree with that. You know, I thought we'd be kind of rubbing elbows here.
Yeah, it's wider than the E36 for sure.
And right off the bat, this suspension is so smooth. I really expected it to feel like super stiff, like race car style, but it feels super, super smooth.
I can definitely see the luxury side of things here. Like, I mean, I love the Porsche clock. I love, you know, the steering wheel that he put on there with the, you know, with the Alcantara and the cut bottom. Also, Greg told me that, how's the shifter? Because he told me it's a shifter from a GT3.
It feels very
notchy.
direct.
Yeah.
Very notchy, very direct.
Let's hear this thing roar. Oh my God, this thing is loud. That intake screams.
That screams, dude.
Oh my God. These don't rev out crazy high like GT3s.
No, I think they rev a little over 7, but I mean, a little over 7, let's be real here, that's still pretty high.
And I think, like, for one thing that I heard, like, as an upgrade from the Carrera S, from the 996 model, which is absolutely hideous, by the way. They
Cars too, looking ass.
Or that motor that was in the Carrera was just really like peaky, you know, like no torque and a lot of high end. And I think this car definitely has a lot of usable mid-range power.
Oh, 100%. And I think once you drive it, you'll feel it too. Like, even getting on at about 3,000 RPMs, I'm pretty sure this thing makes more torque than my M3.
Yeah. I mean, like, what's the deal? Like, this car will run you about
50 to 60 grand right now.
Yeah, I think in this condition with this many miles, about $50,000. Like, is it worth it? This is like a true sports car. You know, like everybody wants to say our BMWs are sports cars. Or BMWs are not sports cars compared to this.
No, this is a real sports car. Now the real question is, would you take this or an F80?
I think it all depends on what you want to use the car for. Like, I'll be honest, the F80 is a horrible track car. That's going to be controversial, but I don't care. I mean, the way it delivers its power, the way that the chassis is so stiff and snappy, like, I mean, but I can't pretend to know what this feels like on a racetrack.
I mean, it's pretty direct, I ain't gonna lie to you.
But for a DD, this car, you can't use the back seats.
Nope.
I mean, it's like, unless you have a small child. It is older, so you are missing a bit of the creature comforts, but I mean, if you upgrade, like this one has like a really sick touchscreen Pioneer Bluetooth with CarPlay, you know, it's got an upgraded sound system. I just don't know. Like, I don't know what I would take. An F80 is definitely a more usable car for day-to-day driving.
Auto trans on these is not very great. It's the Tiptronic. It's the first generation of
yeah,
not good Porsche transmission.
So I guess if you don't want a manual, right? Like, you can't beat the F80's DCT. You know, everybody wants to graduate into one of these things. They're about the same price as an F80 M3. They're a little older, really mechanical, a lot of, you know, noise and things. And quite frankly, when you have an M3, dude, it's an M car, but one of these, it's just a glorified Beetle.
Glorified Beetle? Dude, Matt, show me another Beetle that looks like this, dude. Show me another one that drives like this, that costs this much.
The original Herbie.
I mean, it does drive pretty wild.
You know what, man? Here's the thing. An M car will never be compared to a Beetle. The M car will never be compared to a Volkswagen. An M car is just an M car.
An M car is an M car, and vag guys are vag guys.
Says the guy who owns an M car. Glorified Beetle. You know, everybody talks about how good the steering is, and there is like a weird kind of dead spot
in the very middle.
But then when it grabs, like, you get a lot of feel on the side. Really different from a BMW where the pedals are kind of level with each other.
Right.
And when you push in the brake pedal, you kind of go in past the gas pedal a little bit. This one, the brake pedal is a lot higher. Yeah. This is gonna sound crazy and maybe not make any sense, but to me, this is like the perfect combination of a really solid performance sports car, but yet it does have that luxury, like, comfortability to it. Like, for example, it's a manual car. It comes off the clutch so smooth, almost like with no effort. You give it some gas, you know, you give it gas and it smoothly takes off. But then when you want to give it some beans, like that variable valve time, oh my god,
it feels insane.
It's unbelievable.
And sounds insane too.
Graduating from an M car? I don't know, man.
That's a hard one. You know, I do love, like, I do love the fact that it's, for one, a Porsche. It looks like a supercar, and it definitely drives like one too.
Does it look like a supercar, or does it look like a Beetle? I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. And I think the 997 is like that perfect styling of old school style Porsche and like new tech. You know what I mean? Like, The 991s are cool because they're a little wider, but the 997 is like, I think, just the perfect combination. How do you think the seats feel? I think the seats feel great. Like, they hold you in, they're still kind of comfortable, but they are a little narrow.
Yeah, so these seats are a little narrow. Like, if you're a big back, you're definitely not fit. Definitely not gonna fit in these. But I love the fact that Greg did the cloth inserts.
Yeah, they look absolutely amazing. Let's see what this first gear pulls like, huh? You have so much grip with the engine, and like,
yeah,
it's like, you know, coming from the BMW world, you're just ready for that thing to
just kick out. This just grips.
Yeah, this thing just hooks up. Like, everything feels so solid. With the engine in the back, it feels like I'm like literally like I'm driving a go-kart. It's like everything feels super solid. When you slam gears at higher RPM, it's not like boom.
No,
it doesn't feel like
it's just
for the amount of power that this car. Oh, that was the cutest horn of all time.
Let's get a little horn clip in there. Will you replay that? I will say that I never understood, besides the price aspect, why you'd have a crowd that wants a Carrera or a turbo over a GT3, especially because turbos are, you know, right around a similar price. I guess, you know, with a turbo it's different than a Carrera, but I understand it now. It's buying the comfortable version of your favorite sports car.
Yeah, I do. That's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, like, this car, it is a perfect blend of both, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I do feel like I do feel like this car is comfortable enough to daily drive. But GT3, I don't know. I mean, leave a comment down below if you daily drive your GT3. I don't think you do. Or, you know, but...
And if you do, props to you.
Like, props to you, honestly. But this is, like, just absolutely perfect. This car has perfect mid-range. Like, 2,000 RPM, it just climbs up no problem. Look at this. I'm shifting at 2.5. Give it some gas. It has power.
Right.
You know, when you let off the gas, it's not like... Doom, doom,
yeah, no clunks, nothing.
No clunks. It's super smooth. And I love, like, the super flat steering wheel,
yes.
like nothing on it.
No, it's just
it's just very like driver. I literally feel like I'm driving a video game.
Right.
Like, it's got everything I need. A big RPM tach, miles per hour showing me, right, like showing the miles per hour on the gauge digitally. You know,
that's really all you need.
It's really all you need, man. Like, everything's right here. I will say, like, with the way the steering wheel's positioned, it's kind of hard to see the gauges on the right.
But I feel like the wheels have adjustment.
I mean, the 997 has a smaller steering wheel than the 996. That's one thing a lot of people complained about. And I gotta tell you, man, these brakes, my God, they feel incredible.
Yeah, no, the brakes are incredible. And I think that has a lot to do with the weight of the car, too.
Look at this, dude. It's incredible.
That is pretty insane.
Yeah, the car, I will say, of all the cars, you know, this car is about 100 pounds lighter, I think 200 pounds lighter than E36. And to
Which is
me,
insane.
But it feels extremely, like, way lighter than that.
What? So Mendez, what you think, man? Would you take your 50, 60 grand and put it into a nice F80? Or are you gonna get one of these?
I'll be honest, man, I would not get an F80. I would get one of these over an F80 all day, every day.
Nah, dude, you're wrong, because F80s are... No, you're right. You are right. I 100% would take that money and put it into one of these cars. I think the only issue that you would have is these are 2007, 2008 cars. That's gonna get hard when you want to finance.
That is true. And, you know, there's ways around it, but I think the people that are looking for these cars, like, they're gonna figure that out. They're gonna either have cash or they're gonna...
Exactly.
You know, but a couple reasons why I would take this over an F80 is because, like, quite frankly, you can't beat the handling on this.
No, you cannot.
You can't beat the nostalgia of this.
The supercar looks.
Yeah. I also feel like this car is gonna appreciate in value.
Correct.
Like they have been. When this car was purchased for low 40s a couple years ago.
The same car would probably be in the 60 range.
Yeah, I mean,
with the miles that it has,
yeah,
100%.
Correct. This car is extremely low miles. Like, I just don't see the F80 being an M car that is going to appreciate in value like that. I mean,
yeah.
But I think
the E90 M3 is the last M car that's going to appreciate.
Yeah, maybe. But you know what it is, Matt, too, is like, I think it just depends on what you want the car for. If you're looking for a weekend car or a car you might want to do track days with, if that's all you care about, this all day.
100%.
If you have kids and you want a fast car and you want a fast straight line car and you want something that's cheap to mod and you can get 100 horsepower with a couple $1,000s of mods, yeah, of course, F80 all day. You know, and also if you can't drive a manual car, like let's say for some reason you can't drive manual, like you have bad back, you know, or something like that, like I would pick an F80 DCT over.
It's going to be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, but I mean, for just like a car, like a true sports car that you want to enjoy and you want to feel that nostalgia of having maybe a little bit older, more analog car, this all day, man.
Right.
I mean, and you can't beat the looks. I'll say it again. Don't be scared to mod your Porsches.
And with that, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe even if you like the content, and we'll have plenty more of this stuff for you.
Yeah, and I will say, you know, give us some comments on what other cars you want to see us review.
Right?
But right now, we just reviewed a Porsche. We in a Porsche. We in a Porsche. We're in a big Beetle.
No more clapping for Matty Webb.
Oh, you clap when
like,
you get excited. You clap when you get excited. Can I put my hand on your hand?
Yeah, you want to shift together?
No.
Is that a cop?
Original Herbie.
What is this, Herbie?
The original Herbie. You can't say. I said the Herbie.
I'm sorry.
The asshole.
Let's hope Matty Webb doesn't spin the fucking camera around again.
We're in a Porsche. We're in a Porsche.